Hello, this is Jay with Employee Insights. This PowerPoint presentation will give you a brief overview about how we benchmark jobs. So many of you are probably wondering, what is a job benchmark? A job benchmark is something that brings focus to the job and not the person. It allows you to pinpoint the true requirements of the job and then allows you to produce a tool by which you can assess people to compare against that job. It also helps to define the key accountabilities that is required to do the job successfully. So how do you bring focus to the benchmark? Asking the questions below are the key to making sure that you get it right. The real question that needs to be asked over and over again is, why does this job exist? You need to understand and explore all the reasons why the job exists and how it contributes to the company's bottom line and how it fits into the organization. What key results reflect superior performance? Some people want to focus only on what the job is doing now. You really need to focus on what the job should be doing and how it really contributes in the long run. Think 6 months down the road when somebody becomes a true expert in the position. What activities, motivations, and personal skills are most likely to produce these results? Sure, we do need to take the person into account to make sure that we align them correctly with the job. So now that you're going to bring focus to the job, who are the right people to help you bring that focus and understand the job? We refer to them as subject matter experts. These are people who have held the position, may currently hold the position and do an exceptional job at it, or people who supervise the position. Getting the right people to answer the questions from the previous slide is critically important to making sure that you have qualified individuals who truly understand the position. This will help you get to the bottom of how the job should be done and what is required to do an exceptional job. Make sure that your subject matter experts brainstorm to identify all of the characteristics of the job and don't come with preconceived ideas of how the job should be done beforehand. They need to explore all possibilities to have superior performance built into this position. All right, now that you've determined the key accountabilities for this position, you need to begin to focus on the most important tasks. For example, if you have a pitcher on your baseball team, if he can't throw strikes, it really doesn't matter what else comes after that. So you need to focus on the most important tasks associated with the job. All the rest of the tasks need to be then ranked according to importance. In a lot of cases, you'll need to combine similar tasks that may look somewhat different but involve the same set of skills or behaviors. The next thing that you're going to do is determine the amount of time that are going to be spent on each of those accountabilities. You need to leave time in a week, and you can't book 100% of the time because, as we all know, unexpected things happen. So people need a little bit additional time. We typically recommend booking on an 80 to 85% basis. All right, now that you've got the key accountabilities ranked and time allotted to each one of them, it's time to use the benchmarking assessment. The subject matter experts will answer the questions in the benchmarking tool that focuses specifically on the key accountabilities for the job. In a lot of cases, people have a lot of like to haves when they start filling out the assessment. They start thinking about other things other than the key accountabilities. The best job match is specific, it's not a general fit. And this is where a lot of other people fail at job benchmarking. You have to stay focused on the key accountabilities in the job and leave out the like to have characteristics as you go through the assessment. One of the areas we find most important is that subject matter experts sometimes do not read the instructions at each section and focus and don't have the correct focus on the appropriate key accountabilities in the correct section. This tends to lead to a significant variation among subject matter experts when we review the results. Now that you have produced the job benchmark by having all of the subject matter experts fill out the assessment, it's time to compile all of the data and take a look at it for validity. One of the first things we do is review the responses from each subject matter expert to see what kind of deviation we have between subject matter experts. This allows us to compare them and see if the directions were followed appropriately and apply the appropriate key accountabilities in each section, producing the benchmark. We then take those valid responses and combine them together for a final benchmarking tool. This benchmarking tool allows you to compare candidates to each other as well as to the job, which is the most important. The match between the candidate and the job obviously is the critical one, but it also gives you a scoring methodology between candidates, so you can take a look at how they compare to each other as well as the job. So, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to produce a few more sections on job benchmarking. We look forward to you coming back and hearing a little bit more about each of these bigger areas and subjects in detail.